One of the things we've always done in sports is comps, right? And when I say comps, not like housing comps where you get the five, at about the same level and you come to an average. I'm saying you compare a player to a player. It was, I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday, Ryan? Yesterday, Chris Sims compared Tua Tagovailoa to Baker Mayfield, right? Not crazy athletic, really accurate, not terribly big, but big enough, good enough, but maybe not athletically overwhelming, intellectually really, really sharp, right? That's what we do for any draft we have ever had. I did the NBA draft for 10 years at ESPN. And every guy had a comp. I missed on some of the comps. I did. I thought that Steph Curry would have a Jeff Hornacek-like career. That was my whiff. I thought he was a combo guard. He could really shoot, could really pass. I didn't see superstardom. Jeff Hornacek had a really good career. Played in NBA Finals. I didn't see it. I missed. But you try and find a comp. Why? Because you're trying to convince yourself that I've seen this before. I know how it plays out. I mean, truth be told, Baker Mayfield was supposed to be Russell Wilson, but he's not as athletic as Russell Wilson. His arm isn't as strong as Russell Wilson. He just doesn't have whatever gravitas Russell Wilson. Maybe he hasn't been as well coached. I think Kyler Murray feels like he might be more of Russell Wilson than Baker Mayfield. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, Aaron Rodgers, we've seen this before. Do you know who Aaron Rodgers is? It's John Elway. John Elway was crazy athletic with crazy arm strength. And what people forget about John Elway is everybody remembers they got blown out twice in the Super Bowl. That was back in my childhood. Super Bowls were generally terrible games. And we would go play dunk ball at halftime and never come back inside because the game was so bad. And I remember buying into the Orange Crush when it was they took on, one year it was the San Francisco 49ers, one year it was the 49ers, I think, and one year it was the Washington Redskins. The Redskins beat them so bad, that game was over at the end of the first quarter. But the reason that they were so badly outshone was, honestly, the Broncos shouldn't have gone to those Super Bowls. They had the drive, which was all Elway, and then they had the fumble. The Browns are going to win the game. Ernest Biner holds on the football, and the Browns were the better team. And we see this in college basketball. When you have it upset, then that team, gets to the next level and they get just blown out. That's what happened with. It wasn't Elway. It was everybody else was so bad that even Elway couldn't fix it against the best team of the NFC. Couldn't happen. But we've seen these guys before, right? We've seen, pick the quarterback. We've seen Phillip Rivers before. His name's Dan Marino. Quick release, immobile, right? Might play a little bit too long, unbelievably talented, and just accumulate sets. The only difference is Phillip Rivers hasn't gone to one Super Bowl. Dan Marino did. I bring it up because I think we've seen this Tom Brady thing before. Will he or won't he? How many years now is it about retiring? And will he go to another team? Can he leverage the situation he has with a situation he might have? Will he or won't he? Isn't that Brett Favre? Now, they're not similar as quarterbacks, right? Favre was a gunslinger. When Favre played, it wasn't as big a deal. Your turnovers, your interceptions, we used to talk ourselves into it, go like, I know Favre shouldn't have thrown that, but that's like a really good punt, right? That's what we used to say. Now it's about protecting the football. No negative plays. I'm not comparing Brett Favre and Tom Brady as players in any way. In any way. Tom Brady is a thinking man's quarterback. He thinks about every morsel of food put into his body, every read he has, every throw he has. And if he stands tall and upright and nobody at his feet, there hadn't been anybody better. He throws, the one similarity would be they're both great in bad weather. But Favre, no plan. Famously didn't know what a nickel defense was for the first 5 years in the NFL. Even late in his career, when he was with the Jets, they would come in with a diverse game plan. He was like, nah, give me 2 wide receivers, a guy and a guy in motion. Let me figure out what they're in and let me play. He was not a thinking man's player. He was just an incredible leader and a sheer force of will. But here's where they were the same. You start thinking about retiring and talking about retiring, and somebody talks you out of it. That happened a couple years ago with the Patriots. You have an heir apparent that's behind you, that people in the organization are like, you know what? The kid is pretty good. And he might not be better at the old man at the old man's peak, but the old man is not at his peak anymore. We might want to go with the kid. Obviously, the difference is the Patriots chose to jettison the kid. So what did we have last year? He won a Super Bowl. Should he retire? No. We don't want to retire. He's coming back. Now he announced yesterday via the Gram, he's coming back again. But maybe or maybe not with the Patriots. Obviously, it's different in that Jarrett Stidham is not Aaron Rodgers. But similarly to Brett Favre, there are a limited number of places that he can go. And if he goes to the Chargers, isn't that like going to the Jets if you're Favre? Right? Think about it. The Jets are the second team in New York City. What are the Chargers in LA? Just in the NFL, they're second team, and they're way down the line in terms of professional sports franchise. And that's from a Charger fan. Right? And what happened during Brett Favre's time with the Jets? Great start, because he can really play. But then his body broke down. He tore his bicep, and they fell apart. And he left town. Right? He wanted bright lights, big city. He got it. And then there was the off-the-field texting stuff, which got exposed. There was a lot that happened with Favre and the Jets that we kind of quickly forget because he did rehab it, went to the Vikings, came in and kicked the Packers' ass, got all the way to the NFC Championship game before throwing essentially the game-deciding interception. Losing in overtime, and then he got talked out of retirement again. Look, it doesn't affect me if Tom Brady retires. He's a great player. He's had a great career. I would have thought last year he won a Super Bowl. That would have been a good time to walk away. He chose to come back. This year didn't end well. Now he's trying to leverage free agency to get it just right. And it feels like, just like Favre with the Packers, ultimately, that's where he wants to be. People forget that Favre retired like a third time, left the team, they named Aaron Rodgers a starter, and then he showed back up, and then he's like, okay, do I get my job back? They're like, yeah, no. Now, I don't think the Patriots do that, but I do think that just like Favre, he doesn't really want to leave because the other options aren't better options. Brett Favre's always a Packer, and Tom Brady's always a Patriot. No one likes to think of Johnny Unitas in a Charger jersey, or Joe Montana in a Chiefs jersey, or O.J. Simpson in a Niners jersey, or Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals jersey. Right? Feels weird and icky. And if you're football royalty, it's a great bluff. Or to blave, as we learned in Princess Bride. It's a great bluff. The Chargers do have unbelievable skill position players. They do need a big name to fill up a new stadium. The warm weather, the glitz, the glamour, a superstar wife, like all of this stuff makes sense. But do you think Favre was happy with the New York Jets? Brett Favre and how it ended is where we're trending with Tom Brady. Hey, what up? Doug Gottlieb here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Fox Sports Radio. You can catch my show, all the shows on Fox Sports Radio, unique interviews, strong takes, just interesting discussion on the sports topic of the day, of the week, of the month. It's all encompassing. It's everything you need right here on YouTube. Subscribe.